Hello students, my name is Liz Attia and today's topic is what is law? Okay, what is law? Well, the first thing that we need to actually be mindful of, as we introduced in one of our very first sessions, is law is not the same as ethics. It might be influenced by moral considerations, but in finality, law is only of limited assistance in the discussion of moral issues. So in other words, what is legal is not necessarily ethical, and what's ethical is not necessarily legal, and we've talked about that already. In terms, I guess, of a working definition of what the law is a set of rules that's imposed on all members of the community. Laws are officially recognised, they're binding on all people, and they can be enforced in the courts. So they're punitive in nature, and there's legal sanction for breach of legal rules. The law reflects the rights and the obligations of people in the community. It seeks to actually give us certainty in terms of action, so predictability in terms of knowing what our rights are and what our obligations are, and what other people's rights and obligations are toward us. So it seeks to actually give some certainty and some predictability to understanding dynamics between individuals. It's coercive or punitive, so it provides penalties for those who do not obey it and remedies for people who have been wronged. And the system of law is applied and enforced by the courts. I guess I'd ask you at this point to actually consider whether the applicability of the law is purely because of its coercive and punitive nature. So, for example, if you were actually driving in the middle of the road at 1 o'clock in the morning, it was a red light, you knew that there were no cars coming in any direction anywhere near you, there were no speed cameras, there were no red light cameras or patrol cars that might pull you over, or mobile patrol cars to give you a fine or an infringement. Would you stop at that red light? Does the law in and of itself, do the legal rules in and of themselves have any value irrespective or notwithstanding the fact that they come with punishment? I'll just ask you to consider that. It's a really interesting case in point. Okay, now you might ask the question, well, what's the relationship there in terms of our history, in terms of customs, rules and law? Well, in terms of a working definition, customs are patterns of behaviour among people in a society or group. They're habits and traditions that have developed over time. They're not enforceable, unlike rules, legal rules, but over time, customs might in fact develop into formal laws. So rules are made by individuals or a group to maintain conduct in certain situations. They only apply to people in that group and can vary depending upon the event or situation that they're used in. So they're not contextual in application, and contextual in application, and rules have consequences in the group for being broken. Thank you, students. That brings today's topic to an end.